Welcome to What the Tech, where we cut through all the hype to bring you the hard-hitting analysis behind the headlines you're seeing everywhere.
I mean, you can't get much clearer than that, right? Those are the stakes, straight from Elon Musk himself. And that quote, it sets the perfect stage for a massive court case out of Florida that puts Tesla's entire narrative, and yeah, its massive valuation, directly on trial. So let's get into it. So our story starts back in 2019 in Key Largo, Florida, and this is where a truly tragic crash happened. A Tesla, which was running on autopilot, killed 22-year-old Naibel Benavides Leon and left her boyfriend Dillon Angulo with just catastrophic injuries. Now, in the moments, and really the years after this wreck, the single most important piece of evidence, the data showing exactly what the car's computer was seeing, it just vanished. 1 minute it's there, uploaded to Tesla's servers, and the next it's unlinked, corrupted, and for all intents and purposes, gone. So what was Tesla's play here? Well, they fell back on their standard legal defense. Blame the driver. They said he was distracted and that it's always the driver's job to be in control. And the story about that missing data? They basically said, oops, our bad, we were just clumsy and couldn't find it. This despite testimony that suggested the data might have been deliberately deleted. So the plaintiff's lawyers, they're hitting a brick wall. They're facing a trial with no key evidence. So they make a final kind of Hail Mary move. They hire an anonymous hacker, someone known online only as @GreenlyOnly. Just let that sink in for a second. For years, this was the official story from a company that prides itself, that markets itself on being a sophisticated computer on wheels. And yet, this computer company somehow lost the file. And then this happens. You couldn't write this stuff. It is straight out of a movie. The hacker gets a copy of the car's computer, plugs it into his laptop at a Starbucks, and within minutes, he finds the missing file, proving, of course, that Tesla had it the entire time. So what was in the smoking gun file? Oh, it was everything. The data showed the car system saw the danger. It saw another vehicle, it saw a pedestrian, but here's the kicker. It planned a path directly through them. It didn't react. And it confirmed Tesla got all this data right after the crash. This completely reframes the whole narrative, doesn't it? It shifts the focus from just driver negligence to a potential system failure. So now, with this bombshell new evidence in hand, the case goes to a jury. And that jury delivered a verdict that was absolutely historic and a stunning blow to the company. $243 million. That was the number. The jury found Tesla was partially liable and awarded the victims' families that massive sum in damages. Now let's dig into this breakdown because it's really important. While the driver did get the majority of the blame, 67%, the jury assigned 33% of the liability directly to Tesla. And that 33%, that might not sound like a winning number, but legally it cracked the company's long-standing legal shield wide open. Okay, so let's cut through all the courtroom drama because this isn't just one tragic story. This is a critical business case study, and this is where we get into the real hard-hitting takeaways. What we're looking at here is what you'd call an operational risk signal. I mean, this wasn't just an oops. When a company that is fundamentally software on wheels handles its most critical data this poorly, or at least in a way that looks this deceptive, it's a massive red flag about its internal controls. You know, the fallout from this verdict really exposes 4 huge strategic vulnerabilities for Tesla. We're going to walk through them. A failure in data governance, the collapse of their core narrative, the legal precedent this sets, and of course, the risk to the brand and its valuation. So the key takeaway here is that Tesla's go-to legal defense is now fundamentally broken. Before this case, the argument was simple: the driver is always in charge, period. But the new reality is that juries are willing to assign liability to Tesla. The focus isn't just on the driver anymore, it's now on the system's own limitations, and maybe more importantly, on corporate honesty. And you have to understand, a verdict like this doesn't just stay in Florida, no way. It creates a powerful ripple effect that's going to be felt across the entire legal and financial landscape. So what does that ripple effect actually look like? Well, now every attorney with an Autopilot lawsuit has a playbook. It gives them leverage. It emboldens shareholders to sue, alleging they were misled. And from now on, you can bet that the first thing plaintiff attorneys are going to do is focus on getting that data. In fact, we're already seeing a brand new shareholder lawsuit that is citing this very case. And all of this directly threatens the company in 3 critical areas. Its legal liability is obviously way up, it's going to face way more regulatory scrutiny, and it's going to impact shareholder confidence. It hits the brand, and it hits that valuation that Musk himself said is the difference between everything and nothing. So here's the blunt breakdown, the unvarnished truth. The data was the case, and the hacker, he was just the accelerant poured on the fire. At the end of the day, Tesla's own data mismanagement turned what could have been a defensible position into a precedent-setting, multi-million-dollar catastrophe.
And what has Tesla's response been? Well, their big takeaway seems to be to lock down their data even further. The hacker himself has said that trying to do the same kind of recovery today would be pretty much impossible.
And that creates a really dangerous loop, doesn't it? The more a company restricts access to information, the more suspicion it creates. And it leaves us with a critical final question, not just about Tesla, but about the future of transparency and technology. As access to data gets harder, does it build trust, or does it just breed suspicion?